blue pen is in my bag. Let me put it in my bag. All right. I'm sweating. 1 minute. Okay, use one of yours. That's fine. Anything. Oh, great. Let's get this party started. All right. Good evening. What time is it? What's the exact time? 6:51. Our board meeting is called to order at 6:51, January 13th, 2026. Ms. Vaughn, roll call.
Ms. Foster?
Present.
Mr. Hikes?
Present.
Ms. Jones?
Here.
Mr. Marston?
Present.
Ms. Hubbard?
Present.
Dr. Collins Adams?
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, Ms. Vaughn. Approval of the, excuse me, Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our Board of Education norms.
The St. Louis Board of Education norms adopted April 9th, 2019 that are going to be updated fairly soon, shortly. Decision making, we believe our first priority and greatest concern is the educational welfare of all students in St. Louis Public Schools. We align decisions, discussions, superintendent evaluations, district partnerships, budget allocations, et cetera, to the current transformation plan. We demonstrate respect for diversity of thoughts, backgrounds, and experiences, roles, and decisions once they have been made. We embrace healthy debate. We acknowledge board members with differing opinions during discourse in both open and closed sessions to gain clarity and engage in meaningful dialogues. Professionalism. We demonstrate engagement by thoroughly reviewing the board packet and other documents, arriving on time to meetings and work sessions, remaining on topic during discussions, and respectfully interacting with each other, the superintendent, staff, and all stakeholders. We demonstrate respect for diversity of thoughts, backgrounds, and experiences and roles. Communication. We demonstrate professionalism and respect for other board members, the superintendent, and district staff by adhering to timelines and deadlines outlined in the workflow calendar and any other tasks as assigned. We conduct all official board-related email communications using our @slps.org email accounts. We read and reply to all board emails within 72 hours. We conduct all official board-related phone and text communications using district-issued phones. We check voicemail and return phone calls and texts within 72 hours. We are ambassadors in the community, and as individual concerns or questions arise, we will seek to understand the information and gather pertinent facts in order to direct stakeholders or staff to contact appropriate district personnel. We channel concerns or requests for information through the board president, who will direct those requests to the superintendent in an organized, concise manner. We recognize the importance of proactive communication and agree there will be no surprises. The board president shall be the official spokesperson for the board. The superintendent shall be the spokesperson for the district. Board members who receive requests for board issue positions shall direct the request to the board president or superintendent. Confidentiality. We respect and maintain the confidentiality of closed session items and the board's discussion on those items. We refrain from discussing confidential business in public with members of the press or with anyone else not privy to such information. If it is necessary to provide a statement to the public following a closed session, the board president and superintendent will agree on a unified response prior to making the statement.
Approval of the minutes.
The agenda.
Excuse me, of the agenda.
I move to approve the agenda for tonight's regular business meeting.
Second.
Ms. Vaughn, roll call.
Ms. Foster,
Yes.
Mr. Height,
Yes.
Ms. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Marston,
Yes.
Ms. Hubbard,
Yes.
Dr. Collins Adams.
Yes.
Motion approved.
I move to approve the minutes from the open session of our December 9th work session.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Foster,
Yes.
Mr. Height,
Yes.
Ms. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Marston,
Yes.
Ms. Hubbard,
Yes.
Dr. Collins Adams.
Yes.
Motion approved.
We now move to our announcement section and the Spirit of Excellence. And before we start with our Spirit of Excellence, I'd like to make an announcement. This is a statement from St. Louis Public Schools regarding the accreditation status. St. Louis Public Schools acknowledges the Missouri State Board of Education's decision to grant the district provisional accreditation rather than full accreditation. While the district leadership is disappointed with the outcome, SLPS remains fully committed to addressing the issues that contributed to the decision and restoring full accreditation. Provisional accreditation does not impact the district's ability to operate schools, educate students, graduate seniors, or maintain local governance. Schools remain open, instruction continues, and the district operations are uninterrupted. It does not change the funds allocated to this school district. SLPS leadership understands that during today's proceedings, an amendment to a broader accreditation motion resulted in SLPS being singled out for the provisional accreditation despite other districts facing similar challenges. District leadership plans to seek clarity regarding the basis of this decision while continuing to focus on forward progress. Under the Missouri Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, M6 framework, accreditation is typically based on 2 consecutive 3-year APR composites, and while the Missouri State Board of Education conducts an annual statewide vote, status changes outside of a designated composite review year are not typical. Guided by the Board of Education and the still new district leadership, St. Louis Public Schools is prioritizing stability, improved academic outcomes, sound financial and operational practices, and a strong organizational culture. The district is confident that the continued measurable progress will support a return to full accreditation. SLPS remains focused on its mission, serving students, supporting educators, and strengthening trust with families and the community. Please understand this is a grave concern of the school district, and I know it is a concern of the St. Louis community. This not only affects SLPS, but it also affects the city of St. Louis because our students, our parents, our communities are a valuable part of this city. And this school district stands strong. We will be able to change this. We'll be able to do what we need to be able to correct this. We need your support. We need your confidence in what we're going to be able to do. You supported us thus far. This is the new Board of Education sitting before you. We've worked really hard. We've listened to every concern that you've had, and we've made the vital changes that we needed to be able to right this district. We have a plan, and we're going to move forward on it. Thank you. Dr. Barry, in the Spirit of Excellence.
Thank you. As the day progressed, the Spirit of Excellence carries a significant meaning because we are excellent. And we will continue to show that we exhibit and expect excellence in every aspect. We will begin with highlighting this month's Spotlight School, Gateway Middle School, where Dr. White and her team are elevating excellence by demonstrating academic success in their STAR reading and math scores. Since the start of the school year, 193 students at Gateway Middle have increased in one or both areas. Along with 41 students have already met the reading goal of the 2.5 years worth of growth. At this rate, by the end of the school year, Gateway Middle School will increase and see their students reach their growth rate by 2.5 years or more, from 30 to 40% in 6th grade, from 33 to 43% in 7th grade, from 37 to 47% in 8th grade. And those are students that have now reached their growth of reading more than 2.5 years. We see you. Absolutely. We want to say congratulations to Metro Academic Classical High School along with Collegiate High School of Medicine and Bioscience for making Advanced Placement Honor Roll for the 3rd year in a row, receiving platinum status, for which is the highest distinction. The AP Honor Roll recognizes high school for strong AP placement results and expanded student success. This is an acknowledgement to schools doing outstanding work and welcoming and continuing to see our students grow in the courses of AP and a path to college success. Continue to keep being amazing, CMB and also Metro High. Now finally, starting in the 2024 school year, we annually honored staff who celebrated 5-year milestones for continuous service with St. Louis Public Schools. We recognized 337 such employees in 2025, and tonight we want to take the opportunity for those who have dedicated over 40 years of service. When your name is called, we ask that you please join us in the front to be recognized. Perry Anselman is celebrating 40 years of service. He is currently the assistant principal at Central Visual Performing Arts High School. We have Myra Adams. All right. My namesake is celebrating 40 years of service. He is a teacher assistant at Oak Hill Elementary School. Yes, thank you. Barbara Dilworth is celebrating 40 years of service. She is an academic instructional coach at Gateway Elementary School. Barry Jones is celebrating 40 years of service. She is a teacher assistant at Washington Montessori Elementary School. Mildred Moore is celebrating 40 years of service. Ms. Moore has just recently retired after serving as a teacher, school principal, and a principal mentor in our district. Jane Ann Sykes is celebrating 40 years of service. Yes. Nurse Sykes is our school nurse at Dewey Elementary School. It's great to see you. Dr. Wanda Clay is celebrating. She's celebrating 45 years of service. Yes. She is the Director of Professional Growth and Educating Support for St. Louis Plan. And finally, we are celebrating with 50 years of service. Marjorie Patton, the academic coach of Ashland. Okay. All right. Those that could not join us today, we also celebrate several remarkable employees that could not join us. Barbara Portland with 40 years, Todd Merriweather with 40 years, Lisa Sims with 40 years, and Doja Spearman with 45 years. To each of you, your dedication to the staff, students, and community of the city of St. Louis cannot be fully measured. But please hear our sincere gratitude and feel our deep appreciation. You are what makes us great and embody excellence. Please join me one more time in giving these employees a well-deserved round of applause. Yeah, the board would like to join for a picture. We have some. Do you want a picture? Thank you. I would have. You know I love taking pictures. Thank you. The celebrations and the spirit of excellence tonight speaks to the greatness that exists throughout our district. At SLPS, when there is a fork in the road, we go straight. When there is a roadblock, we find a different path. When there is a wall, we climb over it. And when there is a goal, we reach it. SLPS, we are moving forward together, and no one can stop that. Thank you. Yeah. They're like, yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Berry. And we'll move now to our reports.
Yes, ma'am. We only have one report tonight, and we will bring you about enrollment and registration updates from Chief Mitchell.
Good evening. Nobody wants to follow that amazing celebration, but good evening, Dr. Karen Collins-Adams, our board president, Vice President Emily Hubbard, members of the board, Dr. Berry, our interim superintendent, and the listening audience. This will be a very quick update. We just wanted to provide a snapshot in the middle of the year on enrollment and registration. I have the clicker right here. Of course, we always want to take a look at our strategic values and how they put us on the pathway to the portrait of a graduate. Today, we're going to be looking at equitable and multiple sources of data, as well as authentic family and community partnerships. So here's some quick enrollment comparisons that you see up here. What I want to point out is our 24-25 count day enrollment. And so as you know, count day is the official number that is reported to DESE each year. So last year, in the 24-25 school year, we were at 17,989 on count day. This year on count day, we were at 17,226. And so that's a difference of 763. However, what you can see is that we are continuing to go up. We're in an upward trajectory. We certainly did not decline as some of the numbers had suggested. And so on January 5th, when these numbers were due, we were at 17,348. And then today, when I ran enrollment, we are at 17,368. So again, on that upward trajectory. We did want to do a quick snapshot on our tornado impacted schools. And so what you see here is all 6 of our tornado impacted schools, what their end of year enrollment was, and then what their enrollment was on the second. We are seeing declines at all of the schools. Some are greater than others. Not that those students necessarily left St. Louis public schools, but that's just the enrollment decrease on that particular school. Of course, this is data that we're keeping our eyes on, taking a look at where the students have gone and things like that. Okay, that's just the enrollment snapshot. Now we're going to lean into the annual student information update and focus. And so, as you know, every year we have to update our registration information. So the pupil accounting team has updated the focus registration process. Last year was our first year in a new system. So you learn and you grow. And so what we decided to do was create a more streamlined approach for the registration update while maintaining compliance with all of the legal requirements. So what we did was additional forms that are not legally required, we pulled off and made them ancillary forms in Focus to help streamline that process. They are still required forms for families to complete, but they're not in the main registration process. The updated process includes that early transportation opt-in to support route planning and then operational readiness. We're also going to have an intent to return indicator on this same annual student information update. One thing of note is in the state of Missouri, you have to roll over every student. So that is just for our data purposes, not that we would be withdrawing any student unless the parent has formally requested that. And then we are asking our families, so we're releasing this on January 20th, and we are asking families to please complete this information by April 15th. Also, again, I want to really point out, this is not a full new registration process. It is just an update. It's our required yearly update. What is required is in Missouri, again, this is not just St. Louis Public Schools, this is a required registration documentation across the state. So we do require a birth certificate for each child, immunization records meeting Missouri school requirements, proof of residency. Here in St. Louis Public Schools, our acceptable proofs of residencies include a lease or a deed, or a utility bill, which is going to be gas, water, electric, or trash. We do require a government issue photo ID. That can be a driver's license, state ID, or passport, and then if applicable, any custody or guardianship documents. These are the legally required documents that every family must provide. So for our returning families, okay, and so I want to point out a little bit of a caveat. I know, again, we entered into a new system last year, and so we were kind of in a hybrid of some paper documents plus some new documents, especially for our returning families. So families that have completed the focus registration for the 25-26 school year, that means you already did it, congratulations. You basically just have to go in and verify the documents that have already been uploaded into Focus. The only thing that's required every single year is a proof of residency and any immunization records if they had to be updated, like if you had to have a shot that year for some reason. Birth certificates, parent guardian issued ID, custody, any of those documents are not recollected annually unless a change occurs for some reason. If you are a family that did not complete your Focus registration this past year, but your student is still enrolled, those documents will need to be uploaded. Or if there was some issue or something like that, let's say the picture was blurry or it was the wrong picture, you have an opportunity to go ahead and into Focus and complete that. I do want to say that we currently have, when I looked at the numbers today, approximately 68% of our families that have signed up in Focus, so we are getting there. And so that's 11,832 students have at least one parent that have signed up in Focus. And then I want to give a huge shout out to Betty Wheeler, Metro High School, and Shaw Elementary. They all have over 97% of their families signed up in Focus right now, which is amazing. And that is it for our enrollment and registration update. Any questions?
Thank you so much, Chief Mitchell.
Thank you.
And that concludes our reports.
Thank you very much. It's great to hear that what our current enrollment is now. And we'll work to increase that. I do have one question. What's our pre-K enrollment like? Well, I just need to know, is there a way to increase that for next school year? Or do we have a plan for what we're going to do for early childhood?
So we do. I know there's a brainstorming session that we have coming up, and so hopefully that will elaborate on what we want to do in the future. I know we have a few schools where there are waiting lists, as well as we have a few schools that don't have the size or the actual rooms. But we can certainly talk. If you know more, or Dr. Dino, if you want to speak to that, please feel free.
So in that case,
Understood.
will we then be able to, if we can find a space, we can expand it so that we don't have parents just waiting, because what they do is they'll find another place, or it becomes an expense for them to go to a neighborhood nursery or mom and pop nursery, you know, so it's like, how do we do that?
So I guess what I would say is there are slots available across the district in pre-K right now. And so there are families on waiting lists because they have preferred sites, not necessarily because we don't have open slots.
Got it.
And so it may be that there are some sites that, like Dr. Berry was saying, there isn't space to expand or open more classrooms, but there are definitely slots available currently in our preschool programs in many of our schools. And where there are wait lists, it's because parents have chosen to wait for spots in those specific schools as opposed to take a slot in a different school.
Is there any way for the areas where we have wait lists to expand it in a form of an annex or something to be able to get that registration to us? Because the one, and it's usually in your preschool centers, right? I mean, so what it does is more or less, and it's our hope, so this is idealistic, that it would guarantee the enrollment of an SLPS student. If they start preschool with us, then they'd be interested in going to kindergarten through, first through, fifth grade or middle school and high. So is there some way to do that?
Yes, and also depending on the size of the building to see what we can do. We try to keep our preschoolers in certain areas of the building. So sometimes we have to look at the size of the room, the equipment we can get inside the room. But I can tell you what we see often is we have preschoolers, they come, our preschool education is free, it's a great education, but our parents will come with us for preschool, then they leave us, or they'll stay kindergarten, they leave us. By the time they get to second grade, those that attended preschool, over half of them are no longer in our schools. And so we need to get our parents to understand that all of our schools are great and keep them here all the way until they graduate.
Thank you. Thank you. We've completed our superintendent's report for the night. Thank you, Dr. Berry. Let's move to public comment section on our agenda.
Greetings and good evening to our President, Dr. Collins Adams, to Vice President Hubbard, our wonderful board, and to our Interim Superintendent, Dr. Berry. We do have candidates for public comment. They will abide by the following requirements. Citizens interested in commenting will sign in with me or on the iPad between 6 and 6:30 before the board meeting. They will not hand documents directly to board members. They will give them to the secretary. Commenters will take an available seat in the room, and public comments will occur at the appointed time of the board meeting. Each commenter will have up to 3 minutes to address the board, and each commenter must remain respectful and refrain from speaking derogatorily about anyone. They will not use names, and there should be one person or group per topic. The first candidate will be William Monroe.
Is it on?
Yeah.
I'm here. There's a bit of sad news today from that state board. However, Bill Monroe is here in support of the St. Louis Public Schools. And I also ask your patience and understanding as we attempt to take a couple buildings in our community that are crumbling and dangerous and do something positive for them. And I'm here to say that there's been some progress in this, and I'm happy. And I'm also happy to say I got a meeting with some people about a collaborative effort to take two buildings, crumbling, dangerous buildings in the black community, and take one and make it a dormitory, homeless shelter / learning center for the boys, and one for the girls. And I've looked at Stowe on Goodfellow as being ideal for the boys, and another on Thekla for the girls. And if you would, for a moment, I know many of you have driven by these buildings. They look like bombed out buildings from some foreign country. But we have a plan. And this plan is to take each one of these buildings, gut them out, refurbish them, and make them useful for our community. And that's all right. Now, I'm a bit taken by the news, but I want you to know there are those of us that support the St. Louis Public Schools and the efforts that we have here. And I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Monroe. I do have one question for Mr. Monroe. I know this is out of order, but I do need to know. Many times you presented information to us, and that is a theme of something that you really hold passionate about, using our older buildings to be able to create something new. Is there a possibility that you find funding for this too? Is that what you mean when you say you're collaborating?
I'm excited because there are millions of dollars available right now. And if we don't bust a move, it's going back to the federal government. And we look at what's happening with that federal government we're looking at now, we don't have a chance unless we stand to it right now and make it happen for our children.
Well, if
And-
you could include, some of us in your community meetings, just, you know how to reach out to me or
Yes.
Mr. Heisman,
Yes.
Jones, because, we work in those communities, we know, to just let us know.
And I was glad. Recently, I went to the circuit attorney. Circuit attorney had a training session,
Yeah.
and I attended that. And
Okay.
we got to do something to keep our children of color, especially, and that's what's going on in our community,
Okay.
and give them an opportunity.
Thank
We
you.
can do that.
I appreciate it. Thank
And
you.
I thank you.
Thank you.
Jules Jones.
Hello, members of the St. Louis Public School Board. I've come today to speak about a program that I've recently become aware of, a program that the communities surrounding SLPS are very fond of, the After-School Learn to Swim program run by St. Louis Torchbearers 2. I've heard that there's a possibility that this program, after being previously approved, may no longer be accepted as an after-school program despite its popularity and despite the fact that it is of no cost to the district. This compelled me to come speak to you today to urge you to accept the program because the future of our world lies in the minds and bodies of our youth. In a society where screens and short-term gratification and indoor lifestyles continue to prevail, and in a country where deregulation of harmful toxins in our air, water, and food is on the rise, and when civil unrest and hatred is a dominant force, organizations that focus on providing enriching experiences to children, especially Black children, need to be protected when given the opportunity. The swim program has given countless children access to social time and even family bonding time. It's a physical outlet that exercises every muscle in the body and an activity that boosts safety and confidence. Not only that, the organization Torchbearers 2 also provides numerous other youth and family services, including a 10-week-long summer camp. The after-school swim program has provided so many families with an entry point into those other resources, and if the program is not offered to students through the district's after-school network, students could miss out on learning valuable safety training and a supervised introduction to a fun and uplifting activity because of the lack of accessibility to pools in our city, especially on the north side. Board members, the Learn to Swim program is widely beloved by parents, teachers, instructors, volunteers, and children alike. Some families may even rely on it, not only for access to immediate necessities, but for experiences that will shape the future of our children's lives, and therefore the future of our city. Those kinds of opportunities ought to be especially encouraged and supported in these times. So I come here to request that you work with the community's interests to ensure that this program is officially listed as an approved health, wellness, and safety after-school program. And that's all. Thank you so much for your time, and congratulations to everybody who has been working for 40-plus years. That's amazing. So thank you.
Thank you.
Finally, Dr. Zachariah Davis.
Good evening, everyone. Wanted to just, it's been a little while, just been a little busy. First of all, I want to say such great decorum tonight. Thank you. Your board has shown us such great things. I appreciate that so much. I actually came this evening, I don't know about everyone else, but I'm sure most people do. I follow the state board quite closely. And when I got that little email, I was a little mad, to be quite honest, because I think our district was targeted unnecessarily. And so I had a question for you tonight. However, I want to thank you for giving your statement and telling us you have a plan. I really appreciate that. And I only stand because I'm a guardian to a main stakeholder. for this school district. My granddaughter goes to Pomosia Academy. I'm quite happy with Pomosia Academy. I'm happy with the leadership at Pomosia Academy, and I want to see our school district do well. So I'm glad to hear that you have a plan. I hope to hopefully hear in the future what that plan is, and how you plan to move with steps in making that plan come to pass. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I want to leave you with this final comment. We say this in the church a lot because not only am I an educator, I'm a pastor. You know, you give the devil an inch, he'll take a mile. And so we want to be watchful of this state board because it looks like they want to take about 50 miles. Amen? All right. Love you all so much. I have to go. I'm so sorry, but I have to go.
I just want to invite you to join us because I learned so much about you when we were running for election.
Sure.
And I know that you're committed. Yeah, and I know how you are as a pastor and as a father.
Yeah.
And if you could help us and invite you to a committee to be able to do some of these things. Thank you. That ends our public comment presentations, and we move now to our consent agenda. The consent agenda items are voted upon in its entirety. Any board member may ask to have any item on the consent agenda removed to be voted separately. At this moment now, we will start.
I move to approve the consent agenda in its entirety.
Second.
Discussion? Ms. Vaughn?
Ms. Foster?
Yes.
Mr. Hikes?
Yes.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Marston?
Yes.
Ms. Hubbard?
Yes.
Dr. Collins Adams?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Items for discussion. Item 14.1 and 14.2. 14.1, the National Conference on Education.
Yes, ma'am. I am coming today to ask the board on both of these items to approve travel. So on the first item, the National Conference of Education, I just was invited to this conference. I was given a mentor through MASA, which is the Missouri Association of School Administrators, from Travis Batch. He is the Superintendent of the Year at Afton School. I was asked to attend this conference. During this conference, we will hear from keynote speakers, as well as have an in-depth roundtable about opportunities. We will also be asked to have a separate meeting with superintendents from the Missouri area that I can also learn from. So I will be driving. Registration will be approximately $1,343, and I will have to pay for hotel. I can get that number. However, we had to apply and register prior to giving us the number, and I did not want to do so without asking the board. So again, I come to the board asking for approval to travel to the National Conference of Education.
I would like to make a motion to allow an interim superintendent to attend the National Conference on Education.
Second.
Ask a question.
Discussion?
Where is it located?
Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay.
Okay.
3-hour drive?
3-hour drive, yes. I know. I could look at flights, but, you know, it's an easy drive, but I can certainly look at it. 5 hours? Okay. So I'm taking
Nashville.
back the driving part. I will look
Okay.
for flights and get that to you. Thank you, Board Member Jones.
We need our superintendent to be safe, okay? Item 14 point, oh, I'm sorry, discussions. Any further discussion? Call for a vote.
Ms. Foster?
Yes.
Mr. Hikes?
Yes.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Marston?
Yes.
Ms. Hubbard?
Yes.
Dr. Collins Adams?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Item 14.2, Council of Great City Schools. Dr. Berry.
Thank you. And so I come to the board asking to attend the Council of Great City Schools. As you know, SLPS, we are one of the founding members of the Council of Great City Schools. So with that, we are able to sit on the board for the Council of Great City Schools. I have been invited to attend. It's also the legislative conference, and seeing where we are with SLPS, I think will be very beneficial for me to attend. Being a board member, they will waive the fee for registration, so there is no cost for registration. I will not be driving. It is in Washington, D.C., so I will ask for a flight and hotel. But again, I come to the board, and this will be in March 14th through the 17th. I come to the board asking for approval to travel to the legislative conference for the Council of Great City Schools.
I move to approve the travel for Interim Superintendent Berry to attend the legislative conference of the Council of Great City Schools in Washington, D.C.
Second.
Discussion? Call for vote.
Ms. Foster?
Yes.
Mr. Hikes?
Yes.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Marston?
Yes.
Ms. Hubbard?
Yes.
Dr. Collins Adams?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you so much, and I will report out once I return.
Section 15, items for information. 15.1, World of Work trip. Dr.
Yeah.
Berry.
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to ask Dr. Henning to please come up and speak to this trip.
Good evening. How's everybody doing tonight? All right. So we all want our kids to graduate and go into colleges, or we want them to enter the workforce into gainful employment. It's what we want. And the reality is, if we wait till their junior and senior year to try to get them to college, I see, look, Board Member Hikes is already, nope, that's not going to work. That's right. So part of what we need to do is we need to explore what does this look like to start not just at kindergarten, but actually pre-K, all the way at pre-K, exposing our kids to career opportunities, but not just in little visits, trying to look at how do we incorporate it into their experiences every single day. How do we incorporate it into who they are as students, what their interests are, and connecting them with our local businesses. And so what we've asked the foundation to do is to actually fund an exploratory committee to go visit a school district that is doing this work. And so we've asked a few board members that if they would be interested in joining us in this. The intention is to pilot this into an elementary and middle school on the north side and elementary and middle school on the south side. But the idea here is that the foundation, and they've committed to up to 2 years of us looking at this to see if this is actually going to start to produce some of the results. So this trip is really to look. There's no guarantee this is what we're going to do, but it's for us to explore this as an option. And maybe as we begin to have some of these conversations around how do we develop schools that are cutting edge, that are aligned with what the industry actually is hiring for in the St. Louis area in 10 years, how do we start to incorporate that into our curriculum and our experiences for our students? So rather than starting from scratch, we want to take this trip to kind of look at this, this district that's doing this work. That's World of Work.
Yes, ma'am. There was a question. This is at zero cost to the district, the St. Louis Education Fund. We are taking parents with us. We have teachers. We have support staff, and we also have, I want to say, network superintendents along with our board members. But again, this is zero cost. When I say zero cost, meaning food, board, travel, all expenses are covered by the St. Louis Education Fund.
That's right.
Where are y'all going?
So it's actually at a school district is called Cajon Valley School District, and they were kind of the founders of this work. They've been doing it for a number of years.
What state?
California.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh. Well, to your point, the lady sitting to my left, she's been beating this horse forever, and I'm just happy that we are moving forward. We still at a slow trot. We need to pick up the pace a little bit for me, because me, a person that was blessed to be in the skilled trades, I understand the lifestyle that being in the skilled trades can afford a child. And if they can start working with their hands, in the first, second grade. It just makes it that much easier when they get to be in high school. They already have their life planned out, which way they want to go. So yes, I don't know if you can include me in that. I would hope you can, because I would like to help be a vehicle to make this happen. That's the reason I got on the board, because I want to do something like that. So hopefully we can process through that to make it happen. Thank you, sir.
Hopefully you're going on the trip.
Absolutely. And I will say, I will not be attending the trip. My youngest is actually expecting her first child, so I will be staying here to help her with that. So Pop-Pop's going to stay back here and help out. But I have visited before, and I will tell you, the first classroom I stepped into and saw this going on, like, I stepped out and I started to cry, because it was one of those moments that you have where you just say, and again, Board Member Jones, what Board Member Hikes was saying, you've been talking about this for years. When you actually see it in action, it is so moving. So I'm really excited about this and hope things go really well.
Can I say one more thing? It was so exciting to hear you talk about what's happening in 10 years, that we're thinking long-term. And for St. Louis, I've never loved the tagline, "You can go anywhere from here," because we want our children to stay here and flourish if they can.
Yeah.
So very excited about this, thanks to the foundation.
Absolutely.
I just wanted to say I'm overwhelmed just when I heard about it. Back when my children were very young, and I started thinking about the possibilities of coming from Walnut Park and going somewhere else, because I know too many people, my neighbors, my own children, some, that went to places like California and Texas for opportunities to learn a trade and to really do something different. And I wanted to see the same thing happen in the city of St. Louis. So I'm really excited. And I can see our schools changing people's lives by teaching our young people early skills, so that when they leave St. Louis Public Schools, they're job ready, or they're career ready, or they're ready to start their own business. If they're in culinary, they can do their own food trucks.
Yeah.
If they want to sell insurance, if they want to learn investment. And I'm really hoping in the future that we will include financial literacy from KG on up to 12th grade, because I think it will change our young people's lives. But I really appreciate what you're doing over the years. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
One thing I want to add to is definitely excited. I'm curious to learn more about just their logic model and theory of change. I did some digging on their website that they have a CTE playbook. I know here at the district we are excited to bring those opportunities to our students, and so I'm curious more to just hear just about their research background, what their playbook is, kind of if you have that information.
Yeah, I can definitely send you some information. We're looking more K-8 and kind of marrying it to some of the successful work we already have, but some of the future plans we're looking forward to for our CTE. So it's not going to be plug and play. I can tell you that much, but it is going to be something that feeds into some of the work that they're already doing. But excellent question. I'll pull some information and provide it to Dr. Berry to get to the board.
Sweet. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you so much, Dr. Henning.
Items for action, 16.1, school calendar for 2026-2027.
I move that we approve the school calendar for 2026-2027.
Second.
Discussion? Call for a vote?
Ms. Foster?
Yes.
Mr. Hikes?
Yes.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Marston?
Yes.
Ms. Hubbard?
Yes.
Dr. Collins Adams?
Yes.
Motion approved.
So I'll just mention that I know a lot of parents out there are anxiously awaiting the calendar. So it is now linked to from the agenda, so you can copy dates over to your own personal calendars, starting now.
Item 16.2, renew contract for Jezreel Consulting.
I move to approve to renew the contract with Jezreel Consulting.
Second.
I have a question about it.
Discussion, Mr. Marston?
So this is to renew a contract with Jezreel Consulting, and I was wondering the last time we hired Jezreel for grant writing services, how much we paid them and how much grant funding they brought in, because this new contract is for up to $32,000, and obviously I want to make sure that we bring in more than $32,000 from the grants that are written.
Absolutely. I want to ask Ms. King if she can come up, but I can speak to previous contracts. I can tell you that Jezreel assisted when we were in HR with creating our grants, and we were able to bring in over about, I think it was about maybe $300,000 at that time, but I will let Ms. King speak.
All right, there we go. Sorry about that. Yes, as Dr. Berry mentioned, this is grant writing is charged by the hour. So last year we had an unprecedented year in federal funding, so we did not charge as much nor receive as much as we would have hoped because of the changes at the very federal level. So this year we are trying to re-strategize, and we're going to go hopefully with fielding again, so that we can really work to elevate our grant writing and look at different resources. She's been a great resource for us as we kind of navigate this new administration. Oh, and to answer your question of what we spent last year, it was roughly $9,100. So we did not meet that cap.
What's the maximum amount they've ever written a grant for and received?
The maximum that she's written a grant for, I know the highest was the last congressional appropriations, which we passed through Cori Bush's office. It was $4,250,000. So we were moving forward with that until the current president took office, and then those congressional appropriations were halted.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I do have a question. So do we have a team here in St. Louis Public School that is designated to write grants and look for scholarships or develop a booklet like for our students that they can have for themselves, and the grants for administrators or school district personnel, principals or what have you, if they want to start assisting and looking for monies for programs?
Yes. So for scholarships, we really do lean heavily on the St. Louis Education Fund, because a lot of donors to that want that tax deductibility. So we work hand in hand with them for scholarships. And then in terms of grant writing, that was my department, so it's a small team of myself and one other individual. That's one of the reasons why we rely on contract grant writing, because an average federal application can take upwards of 100 hours.
And just adding to that, Erin's been modest. She, for the longest, was a team of one, and she has gotten us numerous grants, well over $30 million. And so she works really hard. And she does have another team member that now has joined to assist, but our grant writer was Ms. King for the longest.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you. Motion and second. Call for a vote.
Ms. Foster?
Yes.
Mr. Hikes?
Yes.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Marston?
Yes.
Ms. Hubbard?
Yes.
Dr. Collins Adams?
Yes.
Motion approved.
All right. Thank you very much. Item 17, board reports.
I've got a report from the Prop S committee. We met on January 8th to get an update on how the money from the Prop S bond issue that passed in August of 2022 has been spent. And our next meeting, co-chaired with Chief Square Watson, will be on site at a school so people can see some of the improvements that have been made to the building.
Got it. Any committee information from real estate? Or we don't have any from legislative right now because evidently we know what happened today, so we'll just skip that.
No report from real estate.
All right, thank you. Audit? We already know that our December 31st deadline had not been met. We have a deadline for January 31st for our audit. We're working with everyone to see that this is non-negotiable. We have to meet that deadline, period. That's all I can say on it. Any information from our retirement committee? And our budget and transparency. Go ahead, retirement.
I do have a slight update. They would like to request that anyone that is not vested in the system and is no longer employed here, that they would take their money out of the retirement system and put it somewhere else where they can be in charge of growing it.
So we will communicate that information to the district. Thank you, Doctor.
I mean, it's for people who don't work here anymore, so.
They don't, but I mean, there's some way to be able to send that information out.
Yes, ma'am, and we'll work to look for those names, and we'll work with the retirement office.
Got it. And lastly, our standing committee on budget and transparency. Ms.
Yep.
Foster?
Short updates, but our next committee meeting will be on January the 28th at 12 p.m.
If there are no other reports,
Dr. Collins Adams, can you announce the interviews for the board member vacancy?
oh yeah, I have it in front of me, sorry. I have to pull that up, hold on.
Or I can if you.
If you have it in front of you.
So interviews for the board member vacancy will take place on Wednesday, January the 21st, beginning at 4 p.m. Those will be via Zoom, so the public can sit in and watch those interviews live through our live stream. The applicants that will be interviewed will be Robert Harvey, David Greenshaw, Tavon Brooks, Tony Hayes, Sabrina Miller, Wendy Goss, Patricia Austin, and Anthony Zabrowski. All candidates have been notified, but like I said, those will take place on Wednesday, January the 21st, beginning at 4 p.m.
Thank you, Ms. Vaughn. Are there any other board comments? Ms. Jones? No? We reached that magical moment where we can now say our meeting is adjourned at 7:48 p.m., January 13th, 2026. Good evening and have a wonderful night. Thank you. Ms. Barnett, may I see you for a minute, please?